Hello friends, today I take up a new topic and the title of this topic is the highlights of budget of India 2022-23. As you know friends that yesterday on 1st February 2022 our Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman presented the annual budget before Lok Sabha. So, we'll discuss today about the silent features of the budget presented by her. This is her fourth budget. So now we'll discuss in detail about the budget of 2022-23 and our lesson plan includes why is it in the news, number one, number two, what is the budget, important highlights of budget, focus area of budget 2022, budget raises tax for some imports to spur manufacturing, critical analysis of the budget, and finally conclusion. Friends, as you know that when I take class, it is for the clearance of the concept. You might have read in the newspapers, in television, radios, but this class is meant for the clearance of concept. So I will also discuss about what is budget, what are its components. Friends, as you know that under Article 112, budget is an annual financial statement of government. Executive has to present budget before Parliament and then takes its approval. As you know that the special feature of parliamentary form of government is that not even a single paisa can be spent by executive without the approval of parliament. And so after passing this budget, government will have to get the appropriation bill passed, and thereafter executive can take away money for expenditures for different departments. So this is the process. Before starting the proceeding, please share and subscribe my channel AJIS Academy Indore. This is a free channel and is meant for students who are preparing for UPSC and other state civil services examination. This is also meant for general public to get themselves aware about what is budget, about the history of our country, the Constitution of India, Indian economy, Indian geography. So just share and subscribe and take benefit out of my lecture. So friends, now let us start our proceedings. Number one, why is it in the news? And I have already told you that our finance minister presented budget yesterday on 1st February, and the highlight of this budget is that it is estimated to have economic growth of around 9.2%, and this will be the highest in the world, in the largest economy of the world. So it is very much heartening for all of us when, because of pandemic corona, our growth rate plummeted into the negative. Our unemployment growth rate rose too much high without having any work for large majority of people. And so what we see now, the positive sign of our economy, the growth in our economy. And so the budget project 9.2% growth in the current financial year. Secondly, the union budget of 39.45 trillion rupees was presented before Lok Sabha, giving utmost importance on stepping up investment on infrastructure and digitalization, push towards greener economy and boost for made in India. And PM held this budget to aim at transforming agriculture sector, including ensuring credit in and encouraging startup in the sector. The budget caters to the development needs of the people in remote areas, hill stations, and those states in the bank of Ganga. The budget brings more infrastructure, more investment, more growth, and more jobs. And Prime Minister is very much assured of its grand success because the budget will create more job, better infrastructure, and better growth. So now we switch over to another heading. What is the budget? As I have already told you that according to Article 112 of our Constitution, it is mandatory provision for the executive to present its budget, I mean the annual financial statement, before Parliament and get its approval. So what we see, the budget gives a complete picture of the estimated receipt and expenditure of government for that year on the basis of the budget figure for the last 2 years. Every budget gives 3 sets of figure. Number 1, actual figure for preceding year, revised figure for the current year, and budget estimate for the following year. Budget in India is divided into 2 parts. Number 1 is revenue account or budget, and number 2 is capital account or budget. Revenue budget has 2 sets of description. Number 1, revenue receipt and revenue expenditure. And now what we see under the heading of revenue receipt, government gets money from both tax and non-tax items. And what are those tax revenue receipts? Like those of direct taxes like income tax, indirect taxes, custom tax, interest tax, expenditure tax, irrigation tax, central excise tax. These are the taxes from which government accrue revenues. And similarly, in non-tax revenue, what we see that government gets revenue from profit and dividends from PSUs, I mean public sector undertakings, interest received from loans, fiscal services, general services like power, distribution, irrigation, banking, insurance, fees, penalties, fines, and grants. So, grants which the government received, it is always external in the case of the central government and internal in the case of a state government. Government gets grants from the advanced country of the world, and so similarly general services like power distribution, irrigation, banking, insurance, and community services also generate income for the government. Revenue expenditures. What are the items under revenue expenditure? Includes interest payment by the government on the internal and external loans, salaries, pension to the government employees, subsidies and expenditure on defense forces, expenditure upon police and paramilitary forces, expenditure on social services like education, health care, poverty alleviation program. All these services incur expenditures. If the balance between the revenue receipt and revenue expenditure is in the negative, it is called revenue deficit. So, in the second heading, the second component of our budget is capital budget. It has two components. One is capital receipt and another is capital expenditure. Under the heading of capital receipt, all non-government receipts of the government are known as capital receipt. The capital receipt in India includes loan recovery and the interest paid on such loans, internal and external borrowing by the government of India from RBI or financial institutions or from the World Bank or International Monetary Fund or any foreign bank. So, government gets capital out of the loans provided by these institutions and other receipts by the government like Provident Fund, a small scale scheme, different kinds of bonds like Indra Vikas Patra or Kisan Vikas Patra. These bonds also give money or capital to government. Now, what are the components of capital expenditures? Number one, loan disbursal by the government to the state PSUs, financial institutions, to foreign countries, foreign banks, purchase of foreign bonds, loan to IMF, World Bank. Loan repayment by the government, capital expenditure on the defense by the government, expenditure by the government on railways, postal department, water supply, education, rural extension and other liabilities of the government. Fiscal deficit, when the balance of the government total receipt, I mean revenue plus capital receipt and total expenditure, revenue plus capital expenditure turns out to be negative, it shows the situation of fiscal deficit. So, I highlighted what is budget and what are its components. Now, I switch over to another important heading, and the name of this heading is Important Highlights of the Budget 2022. Now, number one, income tax slabs unchanged. There was no change in income tax slabs. There are 3 slabs in income tax and finance minister did not touch it. Now, second is disinvestment target for financial year 23 was pegged at 65,000 crore. Third, 30% as cryptocurrency tax. Whenever you get income out of the investment in cryptocurrency, you will have to give 30% tax to government. For example, if you purchase cryptocurrency at the value of 100 rupees and you get income 100 rupees, so you will have to pay 30 rupees to government and 70 rupee will be your income. Now, fiscal deficit target set at 6.4% for the financial year 2023. This year, the fiscal deficit target is estimated to be 6.9%. So, the target of government is to reduce fiscal deficit, and I have already told you what is the definition of fiscal deficit. Whenever the balance between the revenue receipt and the capital receipt plus the revenue expenditure and capital expenditure are in the negative, it means that our financial system or our fiscal policy suffers from fiscal deficit. This fiscal deficit should not go higher. Why? Because it will create inflationary trend in our economy, and this will result into adverse impact upon our vulnerable groups, like those people who are at the bottom of 40% of the population. So what we see, it is necessary to control fiscal deficit in order to control inflationary growth in our economy, and that's why government has set target of 6.4% in financial year 23. Launching of digital rupee in 2023 by RBI, launching of sovereign green bond to reduce carbon dependence, government to boost capital expenditure, capex to 7.5 lakh crore financial year 23, and it may be raised to 10 lakh crore in next financial year. Government will extend ECLGS, Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme, to be extended up to March 23. It guarantees cover extended by another 50,000 crore, and thus increasing cover under this scheme to 5 lakh crore rupees. This is a big boost to our economy, where the government gives 100% guarantee to investors. 5G spectrum auction to be conducted in 2022. 2.37 lakh crore rupees worth of MSP, minimum support price, direct payment to wheat and paddy farmers. India's growth is estimated to be 9.2%, highest among all large economies. Creation of 60 lakh new jobs, because our country is suffering too much on the front of unemployment, and so government thinks of creating jobs for 60 lakh people. This is a good sign. Tax deduction limit increased to 14% on employment contribution to the National Pension Scheme account of state government employee. Hike of 16% in allocation of health center. Focus area of budget 2022. What are the important focus area? Number 1, PM Gati Shakti. I will discuss in detail later on. Inclusive development, productive enhancement, sunrise opportunities, energy transition, climate action, financing of investment. What are the main components of PM Gati Shakti? Friends, as you know, that government want to complete 25,000 kilometer national highways in 2022-23, integration of postal and railway network, 400 new generation Vande Bharat trains to be launched, multimodal connectivity between urban transport and railway stations, capacity buildings for infrastructure projects. These are the main component of Gati Shakti. Budget raises tax for some imports to spur manufacturing. Friends, as you know that the Indian products are to compete with the cheap Chinese goods, Chinese manufactured goods, and so the purpose of government is to be local, to be vocal for local, and that's why government wants to enhance the capacity of manufacturing sectors, and that's why it raised duties like headphones and earphones to 20% from 15%, single or multiple loudspeaker to 20% for 15%, solar cells to 25% to 20%, sodium cyanide to 10% from 7.5%. These are the important approach by which government wants to boost manufacturing sectors. Similarly, because of the pandemic corona, for the last 2 years, a student could not go to school, colleges, and their education was very much disturbed. So, government want to launch 200 television channels for class 1 to 12, so that those students who lagged behind, their education could be completed in time. So it is just the process by which online mode of teaching has to be encouraged by way of setting up 200 television educational channels. Government subsidy to fall 39%. In 2022-23, state will be allowed a fiscal deficit up to 4% GSDP, gross state domestic product, and states are allowed to have fiscal deficit to the tune of 4%. So this is also a step towards controlling the inflationary trend in our economy, and that's why state units have been allowed to have fiscal deficit to the tune of 4% of their GSDP, I mean gross state domestic product. I have already narrated about it, that government estimate that its fiscal deficit in 2021-22 will be to the tune of 6.9% of the GDP. It wants to reduce the fiscal deficit in future. Public issue of life insurance corporation is expected shortly, because government want to mop up money by way of investment of life insurance corporation and Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, BPCL. So what you see, that by this method government want to mop up more monies. Next, a scheme for financial assistance to state for capital investment, outlay to be 11 lakh for 2022-23. So the purpose of the government is capital investment in the economy, to boost it. And since our economy was very much disturbed by the pandemic corona, government want to boost our economy by way of capital investment. So the share of state government is also very much important, and they have been given the financial assistance to the tune of 11 lakh crore for 2022-23. Government is also to provide one-time window to correct omission in ITR, income tax return file. Updated returns should be filed in 2 years in order to mitigate litigations. And government will tax income from digital assets transfer at 30%. Critical analysis of the budget. Friends, as you know, gross budgetary support towards the capital expenditure has increased significantly, with the infrastructure sector being the key beneficiary. Number one. Number two, the budget is inclusive, growth oriented, and balanced with a clear focus on strengthening physical and digital infrastructure, boosting the startup ecosystem, and providing a strong digital push. Higher minimum support price allocation will drive consumption in the rural market. Metro projects will get boosted by the allocation of 19,130 crores, while Swadeshi Jagran Manch demanded complete ban on cryptocurrency. While the former finance minister P. Chidambaram accused the budget for being the most capitalist budget, not a word for the poor, the tax-paying middle class and the agriculturist. Similarly, the farmer leaders accused this budget as anti-farmer. Conclusion. What conclusion we can draw from this lecture? Friends, as you know that it is capital intensive budget, and that was required when our growth had plummeted in the negative. So government want to boost our economy by way of huge amount of capital investment in our economy. And so the budget is very much growth oriented, as our Prime Minister commented. So budget focuses upon infrastructure building with 9.2% growth rate, the highest in the world. The budget wants to achieve the target of $5 trillion economy by 2026 by huge amount of capital investment. It will stimulate growth in our economy, and it is being estimated that in the current year the growth rate is to be 9.2%, and this growth rate, the high growth rate, must continue for 5 to 10 years. Why I am telling this? If you want to compete with China, in China what we saw from 1980 to 2010, there was 10% growth, annual growth in its economy, and it resulted into the second largest economy in the world, going up to 15 trillion American dollar. Now its economy is 5 times larger than our economy. So it is must for us to boost our economy, to make our economy to the tune of 5 trillion American dollar by 2025-26, and this cannot be achieved without getting higher growth rate. And so the budget is in the right direction. It wants to give boost to our economy by huge amount of capital investment, and this is the need of the hour. So friends, if you like my channel, my lecture, please share and subscribe. This is free channel. Just type AJIS Academy on YouTube and you will find numerous videos covering different topics. Stay fit. Thank you very much.